Having a panic attack or anxiety attack can be a terrifying experience, and it's not unusual for people having a panic attack to call an ambulance or to end up at the hospital sure that they've just had a heart attack. But once you understand how panic attacks work, they're generally pretty manageable with cognitive behavioral therapy, and they can often go away altogether. Panic attacks are a classic example of a vicious cycle. First, there's a trigger, usually a physical sensation, often in your chest, but sometimes it's a feeling of dizziness or nausea, or it can be any sort of distressing physical symptom. Now, this sensation itself doesn't cause a panic attack. It's the thought you have in response to the physical symptom that determines what happens next. So say you have a feeling of tightness in your chest, or notice that your heart started beating faster. Now, it's possible to have this feeling and barely notice it. Or just think, my heart's beating faster, I must be out of shape, or have a similar unconcerned response, and then this feeling passes. Or it doesn't, but it just stays an uncomfortable feeling for a while and doesn't escalate into anything, and you just go on about your day. But if instead, when you experience this feeling in your chest, you react to it with a thought like, oh my God, what's happening? Or if you've had panic attacks before, maybe, oh no, here it comes again. And it's this reaction to the physical symptom that initiates a vicious cycle that increases your anxiety exponentially and can lead into a full-blown panic attack. Now, a few things happen when you have this thought. First, it creates anxiety. And this anxiety increases your physical symptoms. Your body starts releasing adrenaline, and this causes your heart to start beating even faster, and maybe you start breathing more rapidly. And now that you're having more intense physical symptoms, you interpret this to mean that there really is something bad happening. And then you get flooded with a whole bunch of anxious, catastrophizing thoughts. I'm having a heart attack. I'm about to pass out. Or I can't breathe. I'm going to suffocate. And these thoughts send your anxiety soaring, and your heart starts beating even faster. And now your anxiety and physiological reactions and thoughts are all feeding back into one another, fueling this vicious cycle as it spirals faster and faster, as your panic keeps escalating and you can start to feel like you're about to die. So in order to avoid having a panic attack, you need to find a way to disrupt this vicious cycle, and the earlier in the process, the better, because your anxiety increases exponentially in the build-up to a full-blown panic attack, and so you're much more likely to be able to do something to help manage it the sooner you're able to make an intervention. So while you're still feeling somewhat calm, or your anxiety is just starting to rise, rather than waiting until you're already panicking. Now, often the quickest and most effective way to interrupt a panic attack before it has a chance to start escalating is to remove yourself from the situation and distract yourself long enough at the outset so the cycle doesn't even get started, or to break the cycle before it gathers too much momentum. And the reason you want to distract yourself is so you don't become hypervigilant, paying extra close attention to see if that sensation is still there. Because the more you check for it, the more you're going to find it. And the more you find it, the more likely you are to trigger a thought that sets off the panic cycle. So if you can distract yourself just long enough to get your mind off that physical symptom, it often goes away once you stop looking for it, and then there's no reason to panic anymore. So as soon as you notice you're starting to panic, do something to disrupt it. So maybe stop what you're doing and get up. Go for a walk, or just go outside, or splash some water on your face, or have something to drink, or call a friend and talk to someone. But sometimes that doesn't work, or sometimes it's not even possible, because panic attacks tend to come on at the most inconvenient times. You're driving along the highway, or you're on an airplane, and you literally couldn't get up and escape the situation, even if you wanted to. Other times you could remove yourself from a situation, but it'd be awkward. Maybe you're in the middle of a haircut, or you're stuck in a meeting, or even in the middle of giving a talk, and you worry what other people would think if you had a panic attack and had to get up and excuse yourself in the middle of something like this. And this feeling of being trapped and fear of embarrassing yourself if you did have a panic attack right now can be one of the things that's fueling your panic. And so these situations can be trickier. And in the next video, we're going to look at some more advanced strategies to manage panic by calming our thoughts and our physiological reactions. And please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if there are any other topics you'd like me to cover. And you can check out my online mindfulness-based cognitive therapy course, where these videos come from for free, from the link in the description.